Good afternoon, family, and welcome back to another episode of Godspeed, where we provide you a weekly market overview for the Lexus LC500. All right, family, our final review for May, and let me tell you, pricing is definitely going up on these LC500s. I'm going to give you a quick weather report for all of the models. So, guys, for low mileage 2018s, we're definitely seeing them push back up into the low to mid 70s, okay? On 2021 convertibles, they're now pushing back up into the high 70s and the mid 80s. We're also seeing some lower pricing on the 2019s and 2022s, which is very promising for those with a little bit larger budget to spend. We're seeing also an increase in private owner sales, right? Which I'm mostly seeing a lot via Facebook groups. So if you're in the market, definitely look at the options to purchase from a private seller in addition to your opportunities from dealerships. And then lastly, we're also seeing the availability of LC500s for sale increase as we are now back above the 150 mark. Okay, family, let's get into some amazing opportunities and my top 3 picks for the week. Guys, we've got two 2018s this week. One is low price sports package and one is a low mileage L certified touring package. And lastly, we have a low price 2021 touring package with low miles and a low number of ownerships that I can't wait to show you this evening. Okay, fam, let's get into tonight's episode. But before we do, I greatly appreciate your continued support. Please do subscribe, hit the like button. Let's go. Let's get into our top 3 picks of the week. The first one is actually coming from Auto Trader this week, right? We've got this amazing 2018 in this ultra white exterior, right? I'm loving the fact that we've got some tasteful mods done to this vehicle. Let's kind of walk through them, right? Obviously, we got the blacked out 21-inch wheel option on this one. This was clearly done aftermarket, obviously, because in 2018, you know, we were not getting these blacked out from the dealership. Not to mention, these look definitely like a gloss black, which I'm absolutely loving. I love the fact that we got red calipers on the back end there. Whenever we see these nice dark wheels with some type of color caliper, I think it just pops, right? I love the black look, but I like seeing a little bit of something on the back end there. The other piece here we've got that grille wrapped, okay? Which again, just gives a nice darker look on this thing, right? You can see it from up here. I won't lie though, sometimes, you know, I love it when we can see this and then you got like a small lip on the front, because then the grill, as you guys can take a notice of, right, it doesn't go all the way down right there. So you see just a tad bit of white on the bottom here, but that's not a defect or anything like that, right? That's just my own personal taste, right? The other thing that they've done on this vehicle, obviously we got the tint done. And then of course too, and this is going to be something we're going to see in 2 vehicles that are being offered this evening. We've got that cutoff right there that almost gives a little bit of a convertible type feel to this LC500. Okay, but again, tasteful mod. It looks like we've also done the side mirror caps right there as well. And if I'm not mistaken, the backs have been done. The katana blade's definitely done. And when I say done, I mean wrapped. We've got the same thing here on the bottom. We've got the LC500 badging that's been wrapped. You know, this definitely looks to have been wrapped as well. The back tail lights, that is. So I definitely like this. I mean, you know, I think the only thing that's going to be questionable on this vehicle is just the fact that that entire top has been wrapped. Some people are going to like that, some won't. I think, again, that's something that can be easily remedied. And with the exception of that, right, I feel like the rest of these mods are something that, you know, potentially everybody's going to be able to appreciate, right? When we step into the cabin, right, we've obviously got a sports package here. We can see those sports seats showing there in that beautiful Rioja red. We've got the 43,000 miles on this bad boy. Otherwise, right, a clean showing here, right? Seats don't look to be overly worn. Back doesn't look to be sat in at all, which, you know, is going to probably be the case for most of these vehicles, right? Love the fact that we've got these beautiful Michelin tires. They look to have a lot of meat on them, of course. I can also see here too, they smoked out that little turn signal indicator right there. That's pretty dope. I like that. Yeah, I mean, everything on this one's looking really good, right? Let's take a quick look at some of the the deets on this guy, right? So a 2018, 43,000 miles. Love that candy cane combo, guys, coming in at $62,991. Now, one of the reasons why I've got this in front of us this week is because, let's face it, right? Like I mentioned in the intro, pricing is absolutely going up on these LC500s, okay? And what I like about this one is that if we give the 10,000 mile allotment or allowance for these vehicles, you know, this is a 6-year-old vehicle. This one's definitely coming in underneath with the 43,000 miles. This one, if I'm not mistaken, has 0 accidents. It's the one thing I really like or prefer about the car gurus is when we're looking at these vehicles. I think some of the stats and deets that they give absolutely just helps you to kind of see what you're getting at a much quicker glance. But, you know, family, double check with me on this one. But if I'm not mistaken, guys, this one's got 0 accidents on it, right? And 2 previous owners, okay? So when you look at those deets for a vehicle that is coming in at $62,000, I think we got a tremendous opportunity here, especially taking in consideration that, listen, you know what, very tasteful mods. Oh, and I forgot to mention we got that front, this front piece right here has been wrapped black as well. You guys can see that. Now, I think what would make this even more stand out is if you got that carbon fiber, or if they just went ahead and vinyled. I think at this point I'd probably use vinyl to just match the vinyl that's already been done right here. But if we vinyled that out to bring that little piece right there, I think that would set this thing off in the front for real. Okay, so family, if you're looking for a nicely modded, a nice mileage, and a very nice price, I think this one's a tremendous opportunity for you to take a look at, okay? All right, family, our next opportunity, excited about this 2018, right? Because, I mean, number one, we got this beautiful caviar exterior, right? Some more customization on this one, okay? So this one may or may not be for everybody. But I tell you what, I think whoever built this one knocked it out of the park, right? We've stepped up and put the 22-inch wheels on this thing. I really love the spoke that they've chose on this one. We've got the tinted windows. We've got a this one looks to be the Artisan Spirit. You know, the carbon attic spoiler is a big go-to for a lot of aftermarket enthusiasts, right? The difference between the Artisan Spirit and the Carbon Attic, though, is that Artisan Spirit one sticks up just a bit higher, a little bit more aggressive. And so I'm leaning towards that. I think the other piece here, too, is to say that it's a bit more expensive spoiler. It is carbon fiber, and I think it gives a tremendous look. It looks like similar to the other vehicle, right? This one also has been kind of de-chromed, if you will, right? So everything, everywhere we had the shinier chrome elements, they've come back in and vinyl wrapped it, from the exhaust to the rear tail lights, the katana blades, right? This thing is 100% black and red, right? We're going to get a bit closer up. You can see the grill's been done here as well. You can see underneath the door, underneath the turn signals right there. You know, a lot of work and attention. And let's face it, sometimes if you look at a vehicle like this right here, it's so perfectly blended that you might be able to overlook the amount of financial aftermarket investment that's happened on this vehicle, right? And of course, you know, you got to take that in consideration. I mean, I'm looking at this right here. It looks to be very, very cleanly wrapped. And I mean, that's what we love to see, right? Not for sure who these wheels are, but definitely look to be 22s, just because of the size of the wheel and the reduction on the tires there. Love the red calipers. I even like the red Lexus logo, right? It's small, it's subtle, but I think it gives a nice little pop to this vehicle. Obviously, we've got that nice Rioja red interior. This is the touring package. Now, I know a lot of people have talked about the sports seats versus the touring seats and how much more comfortable they feel the touring package is. So I think for those of you who are looking to get the most comfortable seat, right, with the least amount of bolstering on it, this touring package absolutely is going to go for you. We've got the glass top. You can see the shade is pulled right there. Love the Alcantara top on these as well. Love this build. Just a tremendous build. I think this is going to be a very, very nice option for somebody who is looking right now to get into this, right? Let's talk about the deets on this. 2018 Caviar exterior, Rioja red interior, 30,000 miles, right? Which, if we talk about that 10,000 mile allotment, right, this is half of that. So this is an average of 5,000 miles per year, which I don't think anyone can test is absolutely low mileage for a 2018 vehicle. Okay, coming in at $68,990, showing that it's a fair deal at 2180 above market from the algorithm. With that being said, family, sometimes these algorithms don't kind of they don't kind of buy in as quickly into the wave or the surge that we're seeing on increases or reductions, right? This one's a certified vehicle. We're going to get back to that in a moment, right? Clean, 0 accidents, 1 previous owner, right? So, I don't have to mention why we got this on the channel tonight, right? Because this thing's kind of a heavy hitter, right? It's hitting, all of the bases. Also love to see too that they dropped the price by $1,000. So 30 days on Car Gurus was coming in originally at $69,990. We dropped the price actually just recently, right? We dropped the price to $68,990. Okay, now, yeah, I think this one's going to be a tremendous opportunity. Don't know if it's going to last that long just because it's got a lot going for it, right? So let's kind of get into that. Okay, couple things. Obviously, low miles. Checkbox number 1. Number 2 is we got 0 accidents in a 1 owner vehicle. Checkbox number 2. And then the other thing here is it's a certified vehicle. So that's checkbox number 3, right? Excuse me, family. Let's talk about a little bit on what that's going to mean for the price point. Let me get back at a great image here. So $68,990 is where we're starting at. This one's coming from Hennessy Lexus in Atlanta. Guys, when we look at the 30,000 mile that we have on this vehicle, number one, you want to make sure that you double check that inspection sheet. Obviously, I'm pretty sure they did the 30,000 mile maintenance on this vehicle, but just double check, right? Because it's your first larger maintenance, right? It's not a ridiculous amount of money. It's going to set you back roughly about $750 to $100,000 just because of some of the components that they're going to look to change on that one. Also too, right, because we got 22-inch tires on this thing, I don't know where Lexus stands on aftermarket tires. Okay, so when they condition this, I don't know what their conditioning factors are for the 2020 for the 22s, but absolutely make sure you inspect the 22 tires. And if there's an opportunity for you to get some new tires, then I would absolutely, even above trying to get a reduction on the price, I'd absolutely do the tires, right? Because I mean, we know the 21s will set you back $2 to $3 grand, depending on which tire you get, run flat or not. These 22s are probably going to, be in the same range, maybe add an extra $500. But very, very nice, tasteful mod. I'm all for this, but definitely take a look at that, right? You're going to be covered because you're going to get that 2-year extended warranty on this one, but that's going to take you to 50,000 miles, which is 10,000 underneath that 60,000 mile service, right? So, given that Lexus has already done your 30,000 mile, your next 4 services are going to be, between $250 to $500. I'm going to go on the conservative end, family, and just say we got an extra $1,000 of value in the 2 years worth of free maintenance that you're going to get. Now, you're also going to get 2 years worth of extended warranty. Okay. And I'm going to keep my $2,000 value set on that one. Which is going to give us a $3,000 value baked into this L certification, which is why I like this, because family, if we're not even able to negotiate and get this down any further, then, you're practically picking this vehicle up for $65,999 or $90. Okay. I know you're coming out of pocket $68,990. In full honesty, right, you're going to recoup $1,000 at the least on services. So, whether you guys buy into my $2,000 value on the extended warranty or not, you cannot argue or contest the $1,000 that you'd come out of pocket for the additional services. So $67,990. Where possible, I think I would absolutely look to negotiate the price on this one. We are in this middle season, right? I mean, like I mentioned earlier, price is definitely going up on these vehicles, but Lexus is going to be aware of that better than anybody, but I would still go in and try my best to negotiate on prices, right? This thing, no doubt, is showing impeccable. So, which is why I'm feeling like, it's probably not going to last, even though this is definitely starting to trend into that higher price point for 2018s, right? I mean, but the fact that we've got a L certified vehicle, a one owner vehicle, and a 30,000 mile opportunity here. Yeah, guys. And I mean, it's super tastefully modded. Yeah, guys, I just don't think, if you were to go in there, and I'm just going to lay my cards out on the table. If you were to go in there and you're able to negotiate $1,000 off, but I'm gonna be honest, $1,000 to no dollars off, right? As long as this Carfax is showing impeccable, as long as they have done everything they can do, so you're not going to have to turn around and do brakes, you know what I'm saying, which, let's face it, now I don't know if the brakes are a part of the maintenance covered, maybe ask that question, right? But as long as you don't have to do brakes, they put either new brakes on there or the brakes are relatively new. As long as these tires are in good shape, and you don't find anything imperfections as you walk around the vehicle, absolutely remember, take a look at those tires, take a look at the vinyl, okay, on all those parts that they've blacked out. Man, I just don't see, man. I mean, I think, yeah, and then when you get, because these things just look different in person, right? It's easy to be like, that's a nice car, but I don't know if I'll drop $68,000 on it looking at it online. You get in front of that bad boy and you see how those 22s have that thing sitting out stanced because the tires are now all the way to the wheel wells. You get back there, you see that beautiful duckbill spoiler. You got this thing all blacked, and then you open up the doors and you see that pop of red. Yeah, I think you might get in your feelings on this one, okay? Which is why, if you like this vehicle, absolutely get in front of it before somebody else does and pulls off and makes their weekend a tremendous one at that, okay? All right, family, and then last but not least, guys, we've got a nice option here that I want to get in front of you guys. This is a beautiful 2021. Let me get back to the front here. So Mandel, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, is offering this amazing 2021, guys. This is in Mississippi. And again, let's just look at the exterior for just a few moments, right? So we've got that ultra white exterior. If you can tell, right, they've done the same thing on this one that other 2018 had done, right? They've also blacked out, a couple things here. They did not black out the bottom lower grille. They just decided to black out the outer ring on this one. Doesn't look like they blacked out these either. Those look to be the standard gray, dark gray. Looks like they have blacked out underneath where that chrome was. Katana blades all blacked out. We've got 10 on this one. We've got the badging all blacked out. Doesn't look like they blacked out any of the back. Obviously, we don't have the exhaust blacked out on this one, but we do pick up a nice carbon. Is that a carbon fiber? That's probably a carbon fiber spoiler, but that one is interesting. I can't place which one this one is, family. Don't recognize that one. Definitely not the Carbon Addict. Not one of the ones that I'm familiar with. So can't really place a value on that one, right? We also have some aftermarket wheels on this one. All right, this one's a touring package. So instead of the 20-inch wheels, the owner opted to go out and pick up an aftermarket set of 20-inch wheels. Let's see if we can get a closer up view on those. Yeah, I mean, these look to be kind of, 5-spoke, maybe like a gunmetal-ish color here. Preferably, I like the 21s or 22s whenever we go aftermarket. But what I can say is that, this is not the worst looking aftermarket wheel, right? We got Michelin tires on there. So, let's see, we got the glass top. Again, that's pretty much standard. Pretty much that is standard on the touring packages. And then when we step into the cabin, if I'm not mistaken, right, we've got toasted caramel. Yep, toasted caramel on this one. So very nice combination, right? Got those beautiful, again, I tell you what I love about Lexus is when they did these touring package seats, right? Man, they just, they really didn't, they made them look super nice. I think they could have very well cheaped out and not put this overlay on the seat right here. And it would have kind of been like a basic, leather, aniline leather seat, right? But man, when I tell you to, right, guys, they almost look like little robots, right? Because they put this additional bolstering right here on the top, right? When you're looking at the sports seats, right, it's almost the head piece there is without this, right? And then you get this little shield piece right here. Again, if you haven't seen this in person, man, these touring seats, they just hit differently when you're looking at them in person. And I absolutely am a tremendous fan of them. And I think that's why they probably use a lot of these in the Inspiration series, right? Because they're definitely not a downgrade seat at all. Okay. All right. Sorry, enough of a rant about that. But toasted caramel, love that color combination, right? Everything looks clean, glass top, and the top right there. What else we got here, fam? Let's check a look at the deets on this guy, right? So 2021, 18,000 miles. I mean, that one's definitely low miles, right? Definitely underneath that 10,000 mile a year allotment by about 1,200 miles at the least. 12,000 miles at least, right? This one's shown to be a great deal by the algorithm as well, $4,500. What I would say is that, yes, this is a great deal, which is why I'm getting it in front of you, right? Interestingly enough, again, because we're talking about this wave that we're in, right, where pricing is actually on the increase, 72,900 is definitely not the cheapest 2021 we've saw, right? I mean, last week or the week before, right, we were showcasing, one that was in the high 60s, okay? So you kind of, it's really hard, right, to sit up here and say what is a good price week over week, right? Which is why I get in front of these reviews with you guys on a weekly basis, because unlike a lot of vehicles, the LC500 has the tendency to kind of fluctuate, right, week over week. So I would say for current market, trends, 72,900 is absolutely a great deal. And a few things that's driving that is, number one, these 18,000 miles, right? Very, very low miles. If this thing had, 50, 60,000 miles on it, then obviously what we know is that the person definitely jumped in this thing and drove it and enjoyed it. But they put quite a few miles on there, and that's going to make a tremendous difference when we talk about what the price is, right? We also have a 0 accident vehicle with 2 previous owners. 1 to 2 previous owners, I think, is what you'd expect to see on these 2021s. I mean, I'm starting to see a lot more, LC500s that have the 3 to 5 owners on it, which I think is a bit high for my taste, right? Maybe when we get to the 2018s, we have to be a little bit more flexible with that 3 ownership number. But my goodness, I'm seeing some that are 21s and 23s even with those high numbers of ownership. Okay. All right. I do like the fact that this is coming from a dealer. I think that because we're talking about a dealer that's not a Lexus or a Toyota dealer, I think, family, we could potentially go in here strategically and maybe even pull a little bit more money off this one, right? Because what we're not going to be able to do is we don't get to negotiate anything else, right? I mean, take a look at the tires. Make sure the tires look good. Even though this is not a certified vehicle, the fact that you're at a dealership and that they can get discounted pricing on tires may give you some negotiating opportunities, right? These are 20s, so I don't know what the price point is on the 20s, but I'm assuming it's probably going to be in between that $1,500 to $2,500 price point. And so if I were purchasing this vehicle and the tires are absolutely in bad shape, and I knew I'm going to have to pick up some new tires for this vehicle, and I know that I'm going to stick with these wheels and this tire size, I would absolutely maybe go in there and say, hey guys, what can we do to maybe get pricing, some new tires at cost, right? Not going to cost the dealer any money, right? With the exception of just the labor of installing the tires, but it could potentially save you several $100s because you're getting it at their cost. Okay. So I would definitely go in at that. With that being said, right, I mean, I think this is a good looking vehicle. I think the 72,009 for the right person is going to be a great price point. But I don't know that this is one that we got to automatically go in there and just swoop up, right? What I would love to do is I'd love to see somebody who's interested in this vehicle get, a couple grand off of this thing and get it down to $70,900. Or, it stays on the market for another week or two and it just naturally, organically goes down in price and we get this thing closer to $70,000, right? Either way, it's absolutely the best 2021 option on the market today, and it's got a lot going for it. So if you're looking for a 21 year model, you're looking for something that's got those low miles and you like the way this one's sitting, absolutely check out our friends out here at Mandel and see what you can't do to make this great deal even better, okay? Fam, that is our episode for the week. I will have all the details of what we discussed tonight in the comments. You guys have a beautiful weekend. Godspeed.